Hey, welcome to the Get Business Credit YouTube channel. This is Josh. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the different business credit bureaus and why you need to understand strategically how to build up business credit. So if you're just starting to build business credit, don't make mistakes. Go after the trade lines that you need to get based on your particular goals. Everybody's goals are different. Some are trying to get funding. Some are trying to build up solid foundation, get no PG auto loans, real estate, net 30 vendors, manufacturing credit lines. Everybody is different. So by taking these steps and understanding strategically each bureau and what underwriters who pull them, for example, if you're trying to get, say, no PG business credit cards or get the financial credit lines, then you want to focus the most effort on your Experian business credit, because 90% of financial underwriters solely use Experian business credit. But if you're trying to get manufacturing vendor credit or get supplies, then you want to focus also on, say, Dun & Bradstreet. If you're trying to get no PG business auto loans, then the majority of the underwriters are going to be using Equifax. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I'll break down the four main business credit bureaus, and I'll briefly touch on the type of underwriters that will use each individual business credit bureau so you can go after things strategically. Don't just try to get as many trade lines, vendor accounts as you can, because that's not going to be beneficial to you. You're going to waste a lot of money. I couldn't tell you how many students I have that came to me after the fact and they already wasted $2,000, $3,000 on getting these different $100, $200 business credit lines. That's not necessary. And a lot of those actually don't even report to the bureaus that you actually want to get the trade lines reported to based on your particular goal. So I'll try to make the video brief and get right to the point so you have a good foundation understanding on what to focus on. So if you're new to business credit, you haven't started building business credit up, or you already have established business and you're trying to build up solid business credit based on your goals, knowing this information is vital. Like I said, don't waste your time going after as many credit lines, trade lines as you can. If you can't strategically use those different business credit lines, what's the point of having them? You need to have consistent reporting to the bureaus for it to be overall beneficial for you. A lot of people think you can just get, say, a bunch of starter vendor trade lines and then just use them one time and then that's going to help you. Not really. The underwriters and the bureaus can kind of see that when you get all these different starter vendors and you only use them, say, one time or a couple of times a year, what you're trying to do. That's not really beneficial. And especially if you're trying to get high limit business credit lines, credit cards, it doesn't matter if it's personal guarantee or no personal guarantee. So let's jump right into it. Before I do, if you're interested in my one-on-one business credit mentorship, it's right there. Text 937-423-9954. Just text that you're interested and we can dial in to do a free consultation to see if you're a good fit for my program or not. Overview of the four main business credit bureaus. Understanding the role and application of each business credit bureau is essential for managing and leveraging business credit effectively. Have a plan. Do it strategically. Don't waste money. Here's a detailed breakdown of the four major business credit bureaus: Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Business PayNet, CreditSafe, and Experian Information Solutions Division, and who typically is going to be using. So first, we're going to go over to Dun & Bradstreet. So Dun & Bradstreet is widely used for industrial supply, such as like manufacturers, chemical equipment, equipment leasing, and standard net 30 vendors like, say, Granger, Uline. Those underwriters are going to be the ones pulling Dun & Bradstreet. So if you don't have any use for those, I would say don't focus so much energy. I'm not saying neglect and not try to build up the trade lines on Dun & Bradstreet, but just don't focus on the paydex score and trying to get all these trade lines on Dun & Bradstreet. Keep in mind, 90% of business trade lines, credit lines, only report to one, maybe two bureaus. So just keep that in mind. So next would be Equifax. Equifax PayNet is frequently used for no PG business auto loan financing, such as like, say, Ally. That's who they are typically going to be pulling, is Equifax. Business fleets, and also equipment leasing. Say you're in the trucking business and you're trying to get a no PG tractor trailer loan, or say carpet cleaning business, you're trying to get some new equipment, then a lot of the equipment leasing underwriters are going to be pulling Equifax business. And then we have Experian, which is the most commonly used for SBA lending. If you're trying to get an SBA loan, then your Experian business is very, very important. And I can't stress this enough. The most important business credit bureau to focus on that kind of covers pretty much all businesses' goals is definitely going to be Experian. It's also the hardest to get the solid trade lines built up right away. You have to do things strategically. A lot of these starter vendors don't report to Experian. So business bank lending, fintech, basically any business gas cards, MasterCards, Visas, both personal guarantee and no personal guarantee. 90% of the time, the underwriter is going to be pulling Experian business credit. Now, they could be pulling two as well. So that's why I said never neglect one bureau over another. It just put more energy into based on what your goal is and what you're trying to go after, right? And what I mean when they're going to be pulling two bureaus, say one underwriter would be pulling Experian as their main decision factor. And then say it's lacking or doesn't have quite enough trade lines and history built up, then they could pull a secondary bureau just to confirm, say, that things match, or you have other trade lines. So they could be pulling Equifax or CreditSafe, Dun & Bradstreet. It just depends on the underwriter. And I have a good idea on pretty much all the underwriters who they're using for their decision making. Let's go over to CreditSafe. A lot of people are unfamiliar with CreditSafe. They're the actual largest business credit bureau in the world. However, they're like the Dun & Bradstreet in Europe. But the last 5 years, they've focused heavily in the U.S. market. And especially the last 2 or 3 years, they've invested so much into providing family linkage, identity verification for both personal and business, like the owner's information, a lot into the data collection. There's a lot of history data, and there's tons of trade lines that are now reporting to CreditSafe. So again, it's not one you want to neglect because it's becoming more and more popular for all underwriters to use CreditSafe built into their algorithm for risk ratings. So like I said, they could be pulling Experian as their primary, but then it has to also match and pass on CreditSafe. I'm seeing this more and more that CreditSafe is being used not so much as their primary decision make, but the underwriters are implementing it into as a secondary to do cross-reference check and to confirm what's on your first primary bureau. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, I want to make this video short as possible. Like I said, go after things strategically and understand those. Also, there's Small Business Financial Exchange. That's important as well, but there's no way to actually get the report and build that up per se directly. But if you have, say, American Express or any business card that do report to Small Business Financial Exchange. However, it's more of like a data sharing, like nonprofit that a lot of financial institutions report to and share the data. And most of the time, it's always implemented into your Experian business credit report. And that's also why there's a score factor from 1 to 5 on your small business financial stability risk rating. So there's just so much to go into and very detailed, but that is a factor when it comes to the actual financial trades. But a lot of those are going to be the personal guarantee ones. However, a lot of no PG reported directly to the said business credit bureau. So again, as I said, if you are interested in my one-on-one business credit mentorship, just text me 937-423-9954 and we can have a free consultation and go over and see if you would be a good fit for my program or not. I would tell you quite a few people that do contact me are not a good fit for a variety of reasons. So I'm going to be honest with you and let you know if you could qualify to join my program or not. Okay. Anyways, with all that being said, thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, share the video so it gets out to a wider audience. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye-bye.